Hello everybody and welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video we're taking a look at a Kubianbao offering. This is the KBB Tormentor Dragon the Knight. This is part of their deformation line, and of course this is an oversized version of the last Knight Steelbane, which was also remolded as Skeletron. If you look around the box, very kind of Hasbro-esque. It's got a kind of plastic film protection over that as well. Nice artwork on the side there. Then we have him kind of overexposed with a strange light shining on him there. 2 deformation modes. This is not suitable for children under the age of 3. It contains small parts. Warning labels on the box. Without further ado, let's crack him open. And here we have him out of his plastic prison. Now they made some rather odd choices with this character. I never bought the original because it was plagued with problems. So many people said it was so difficult to pose and it was falling apart. Now from what I can understand is they've replaced most, but not all, most of the ball joints with mushroom pegs to keep everything nice and tight. Now don't get me wrong, the paintwork is okay. It's kind of mediocre. We're used to really nice paint applications from the likes of Black Mamba and Wei Zhang. This is slightly underwhelming, and I was expecting him to be a lot bigger as well. They oversized a figure, but they've turned him from like a deluxe to a Voyager. I would at least have liked him to be a kind of leader or even ultra class. Still looks the part from the front anyway, but I really wanted it to go with some of my last Knight figures, but again he's still too small. Prime should be kind of up to his knee, that sort of height, and it's going to be difficult to find a Prime that small. Let's take a closer look at the detailing. The head is slightly hindered. It's a very stiff peg on there. He does kind of tend to look upwards as opposed to forwards. That's a really difficult head to pose. It kind of doesn't really want to go where we want it to. The wrists are on mushroom pegs. As you turn the wrist, the arm guard moves with it. We have elbows on mushroom pegs, and we have a nice ratcheted joint on that elbow. We have a ratchet on the shoulder, and again these shoulder mounts are now on mushroom pegs. We don't have anything on the waist. This is a locked piece, but the legs can go this far forward and this far back on the friction joints. Out to the side there is no upper thigh rotation, but we do have an upper knee rotation. And the bend on the knee, wow, it does bend. Incredibly difficult to do so, and very much hindered by this dragon head just sitting there on the back of the knee. This one's not as bad, but it is still somewhat hindered. The feet can come forwards and backwards, and they can also rock independently on those ball sockets. We don't really get the use of any tilt in those feet at all. Maybe if they'd have made that a ratchet joint, possibly. It's due to the shape of the feet. The ball just can't rock side to side. The wings can come backwards and forwards. Again, they are on a ball socket, so they can rotate, and we can spread them. Now, of course, he doesn't turn into a dragon. A dragon has wings coming from the back. I can't for the life of me remember what his creature is called, but basically the wings come from the legs, so he is actually something different. He's not a dragon. They do have a specific name. Now we get 2 large swords with pegs. Pretty nice detailing, but again rather mediocre with the paint applications. Now scale wise, I mean, here we have him with the Studio Series Optimus Prime. Now the Studio Series Prime is kind of average deluxe to Voyager these days. I think honestly he scales better with the Legends class. I know we have Legend class Prime out there, but I don't want to have to sacrifice. These are the characters you would expect KO companies to jump all over and just make them massive. I know that Black Mamba are doing the Studio Series Grimlock, big enough for Prime to ride, so that's a start. This guy, unfortunately, if you want to display him with some of your other kind of Voyager figures, then yeah, but if you want him to kind of be the size he was in the show, then you're going to need some really small movie figures. Now, to get him transformed, you want to just remove his weapons from his hands, bring his arms up, and these sections here are going to come out, and you're going to want to rotate this mushroom peg down so the hands go like this. So you want to bring the arms up, rotate this down like so. These shoulder pieces rock downwards. The arms can then be brought upwards like so, and upwards like so. And detach this backpack section. This whole chest piece is on a slider, so this is going to slide all the way up like so. These can then compress into the front where the head is, which then allows these legs to come all the way around. Make sure that this wing piece is dropped all the way back down. The crotch piece here, that separates, and this leg here can come all the way up to the top, and that actually rotates around like so. This one then rotates. Bring these legs up to the side like so. These are going to form part of the torso. These wings then rock up and rock up like so. This piece here should push in over the torso. This then rotates around. Now the foot end rotates as well. Tail then comes out and the head comes up. This section here untabs. Rotate the foot around on that ball socket. Look at the mess of that joint there. That's a nasty looking joint. The foot then collapses down into that void. This then closes back off. Flip up like so. And the jaw can come down. And you need to do the same thing with this tail piece. Just open up this section here. Rotate the foot 180 degrees all the way around. Slide that back in and then just compress that off, finishing off the tail. And here we have him fully transformed up. I've just straightened up his legs there, and yeah, it's definitely not amazing. I just don't like how it looks. The sword just tabs in on the back there. It's designed to kind of keep all of this section straight. The legs extend down. The head's just, I don't know, it's just something a little bit lackluster about it. It doesn't feel solid at all. It's just not brilliant, is it? We can extend these arms out, and we've got these wings on here which can extend as well, so he can of course fly. The legs can bend backwards, we can bend those down. The armor can actually rotate, so if you want to have the armor like this on the side, the leg then rotates around, and then you can rotate again on the foot, so you can have the armor mounted kind of sideways. Not a fan of that personally, and unfortunately with the wings being extended, he can't stand up. You kind of have to have the wings compressed and upwards like so. But there's just no stability to this guy whatsoever. Yes, they've replaced a lot of those ball joints with mushroom pegs, but sometimes you can't polish a turd. Oh, it just doesn't hold together very well at all. I've transformed it as per the instructions. It's just very kind of hollowed out, and we haven't really had that much from Kubianbao in a while, and to be honest with you, this is a little bit behind some of their competitors, with likes of Black Mamba or BB7. Any of those guys, when they do movie figures, they do them exceptionally well, and this one is just very underwhelming. Here he is for a quick scale comparison. Don't get me wrong, Size-wise, he's pretty much in keeping with the likes of the Hasbro movie, Grimlock, etc. It's just not kind of in scale with anything else. I mean, the Dinobots that have been released have never been really in scale with any of the other figures. They should have been absolutely gigantic. So them upscaling this to a Voyager is kind of more in keeping with what they've done. But of course, these are the Knights. These guys should be massive. They should have die casting, and the paint applications should be sublime. And when they transform into their dinos or their dragons or their whatever this thing is called, then they should look magnificent. And I can't help but feel that they've kind of dropped the ball with this guy. I just don't think he's worth the upgrade if you have the original, unfortunately. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe Kubianbao have failed. This knockoff is not very good. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I mean, it moves, it does stand up with a great bit of difficulty, but it hasn't fallen apart yet. So I think that's got that going for it. The tail does kind of move. This tail piece moves. The wings do move. It's just a very naked, kind of very spindly creature. Purchase this from TF Direct if you'd like to purchase one as well. You're mad. Now I'll include a link in the description below there. Personally, this is not for me. This will be sold, and I will wait for the likes of Black Mamba or Wei Zhang to give us a decent version of this mold. Until next time, from myself and the Deformation KBB Tormentor the Knight, goodbye.